Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, let's talk about the month of November for you. So the month of November is going to be one of the best months for your career. You may start to feel like you're more in the spotlight this month, and you may also receive a lot of new invitations to social events. This might be a very social month for you. You may also find yourself just having a lot more fun and also having a lot of focus and attention on you. With Pluto turning direct in your sign, things have recently become a lot easier for you, and you may really have started to feel a lot more popular. You may have had a lot of new people begin to enter your life recently, and you could have also started to feel a lot more influential as well. Perhaps people are kind of like seeing you as more of like someone to look up to. They may also see you as somebody who kind of emulates a theme that other people would want to replicate, that sort of thing. So you may start to feel a lot more influential. You may receive a lot of new invitations to Friendsgivings, Thanksgivings, Halloween parties after Halloween, in that last week of, in that week right after Halloween, the first week of November, you may receive more of those type of invitations. You may also just see your social circles and networks begin to grow and expand. This is also going to be a time where if you're any sort of content creator, you may have a lot more success this month. This might be a very successful month for you because of how many transits we're going to have in the sign of Scorpio as well as Sagittarius. It's going to be very successful for you, and you may see yourself really elevating. You may also find yourself making more financial success as it relates to themes of spirituality or creativity. You may yourself creating some sort of art project or content and beginning to see that become more lucrative for you. And with the increase in attention on you, like, you may feel very, very popular during this time. This is like doors of opportunity beginning to open for you. So you will have many new people begin to enter your life and just see you as this person who's very influential, somebody who people look up to, and you're going to start getting invited to a lot of social events. You may find yourself getting invited to parties, networking events, exclusive parties. You may also find yourself traveling to a party across the country or in a different country. That might be another thing you may experience as well. But this is a time where you're going to have a major focus on success, on having doors of opportunity begin to open for you, and things of that nature. On November 4th, we will have Mars entering the sign of Sagittarius. And for you, this is like all of a sudden, you're going to find yourself putting a lot of energy towards partying, networking, having fun. You may find yourself attending a lot of parties in the month of November, which kind of aligns with the fact that we have the holiday season coming up. You may find yourself more in like groups of people. Perhaps you go to a mall and you see like some holiday things happening and lots of people in that mall. You might go Black Friday shopping. You may also do things involving large groups of people, also like going to parties and stuff, but you're going to start putting a lot of energy towards this. And this is also like all of a sudden attending a lot of concerts this month, or starting to go to a lot of sporting events, that sort of thing, and seeing yourself in crowds more frequently, and also seeing your own networks begin to grow. On the 7th, we will have Venus enter the sign of Scorpio, and for you, this is going to be a time of a lot of really favorable things happening with your career. No matter what you do for work, this is going to be a time where you're going to be the most likely to receive some sort of promotion at work, or you may also find that a project that you work on starts to become very, very successful. You may also find yourself just receiving some sort of accolade or award for a project that you worked on in the past. Perhaps you worked on a project like in the beginning of the year, and now on the 7th, when Venus enters the sign of Scorpio, this is going to be when you finally receive that award, that accolade on something that you worked on. It's going to be a very favorable time for business, and also if you launch a project or if you launch a new business during this time, it's very likely to become very successful on that day and throughout the month of November. You may also find yourself somehow trending online. If you're a content creator, this is also going to be a time where you're more than likely going to have a viral video, especially if it's related to beauty or relationships. One of those two things, you're more than likely going to have something viral happen. On the 8th, we will have Uranus re-enter the sign of Taurus, and for you, this is going to be a place where you may find yourself more focused on your home life. You may also receive some sort of opportunity to change homes very suddenly. You may find yourself moving into your dream home or moving into a place that fits your lifestyle a little bit better. You may also have an unexpected opportunity to purchase a home. That might be another thing that could happen as well. You may very suddenly purchase a property. You may suddenly purchase some sort of real estate. And you may also begin to have some like things happening with your family during this time as well. Like perhaps you start focusing more on your family, or like perhaps you have people like suddenly come to your house who are part of your family during this time as well. This is not a time of isolation. This is more a time of communal gathering and being around friends, being around family. So you may unexpectedly attend like family get-togethers very frequently, that sort of thing. Uranus will continue its retrograde period until February, so you're gonna have this focus on these themes until February. We'll have Mercury retrograde in the month of November. On the 9th, we will have Mercury retrograde begin in the sign of Sagittarius. On the 19th, it will go back into the sign of Scorpio, still retrograde, and it will turn direct in the sign of Scorpio on the 29th. So during this time, especially in the beginning of Mercury retrograde, you may find yourself kind of like rethinking your friend group dynamics, your networks, the people who you associate yourself with at work, all of your networks as it relates to the things that you do. And when Mercury goes back into the sign of Scorpio, for you, you're going to be rethinking what you're doing for work, your career. You may have some sort of like midlife crisis, so to speak, no matter what your age is, as it relates to what you're doing for your career. Big realization, and you're like, oh my gosh, well, I'm doing this. I feel like I should be doing this. It's more of a time of revelation, rediscovery, and rethinking what you do for a living and what you want to be known for. This will be a major focus on just like becoming a better version of yourself in your career and working on really leveling up at the same time. On the 11th, on 11/11, we will also have Jupiter retrograde begin, and it will be on 11/11. On that date, you may start to have a big change in your work life. You may find yourself working more frequently. You may find yourself kind of rediscovering what you really want to do with your career, and you may start kind of working harder to make that happen for yourself. You may start to really think about what you want to do financially, where you want to be financially, what you want your house to look like, and you may begin to change everything you do as it relates to your career in order to really achieve that. You may find yourself going back and kind of like, okay, well, this is where I want to be with my career. This is where I want to be in the long term. These are the steps I need to do to achieve that. And you may find yourself really working towards that thing between now and November 11th into March 11th, 2026. On the 22nd, we will have the sun enter the sign of Sagittarius, and during this time, you will really be focused on networking. This may have a lot to do with like rethinking your career, rethinking where you want to be, and you may start networking with people who will really level you up and lift you up into the place you want to be. You may also, considering it's the holiday season, you may also find yourself like in groups of people more frequently. This could be more invitations to parties and that sort of thing as it relates to Thanksgiving or even Friendsgiving. On the day of Thanksgiving, we will have a few major things happening that day. We will have Mercury retrograde continue on Thanksgiving, but for you, this is more about thinking about your success in your career and where you want to be. And we will also have Saturn turn direct in the sign of Pisces. For you, this has a lot to do with your self-confidence and your finances and how you actually earn your income. So I'm kind of predicting that the things happening astrologically for you on Thanksgiving will have nothing to do with what you're actually doing that day. You will not really have like any drama that day, even though the Mercury retrograde will be on Thanksgiving. Instead, you're going to be more focused on yourself and becoming more successful. You may also find that the people who you surround yourself with on that day will begin to see you as somebody who's more successful, and they may also really support what you're doing. You will also feel more confident on Thanksgiving. So you may have family members hyping you up and being like, wow, it's amazing what you're currently doing, or congratulations on what you're currently doing. And you may have a lot of like fans when you're at Thanksgiving this year, especially with Saturn turning direct that day. is going to be very positive for you. On the 29th, we will have Mercury go direct in the sign of Scorpio. This continues to have this theme of your career. This continues to have this theme of success. You may really have a new direction of where you want to go with your career on the 29th, and you'll begin to really set that into motion in December and continuing into 2026. On the 30th of November, we will have Venus enter the sign of Sagittarius, and for you, when it enters the sign, you may find yourself attending more parties, more get-togethers. You may have more invitations to fun events after Thanksgiving too. So you may attend some sort of like fun party, a concert, you may start going clubbing, that sort of thing. You're gonna start having a lot more fun. Basically, after Thanksgiving, you're gonna have some major doors of opportunity open for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more astrology updates.